Hey everyone, welcome to the DeHart house. Forgot what I was going to say for a moment. It's the middle of August and it's time for me to put up another video about the garden. I am sitting out in the backyard right now in the shade while it is still here. We're in a heat wave. This is day 3 of temperatures in the 90s, which is I don't think what you think of when you hear Pacific Northwest. I don't think first thing that comes to mind is 90-degree weather, but that's what we're having. It's hot, it's a bit humid, it's a struggle to keep everything alive in the garden. But I want to take you through some footage and some photographs I've taken over the past month or so of things going on in the garden. I've had new plants coming in, I've had old plants coming out, and some vegetables to harvest. So yeah, let's get to it. So I've got a layer of greens in here. I've got some broccoli that I took out of the garden a few days ago and I cut that up. I've got the leaves from all of these bushes back here. Cut up all those things and trimmed them into smaller pieces. And now I'll move the compost over. The pumpkins here are pretty ready to get transplanted, so we're gonna do that today. Today is August 6th, and we finally got some rain. I mean, it's not like we got inches and inches of rain, but we got some rain. So the plants all look super healthy this morning. It's pretty muggy outside, but I'm going to harvest some kale and make some kale chips. So it's that time where seedlings are getting their true leaves, and it's time to move them into their own containers. So each of these seedlings here is going to get moved into its own cup. These are cabbages, but I also have Brussels sprouts, basil, 2 different kinds of kale, broccoli, and spinach that also need to be put into their own containers. So I have a lot of work cut out for me. So what I use are basically plastic cups, and for drainage I took a pair of scissors and just cut a slice off the side here, because poking into the plastic, like with a push pin or a nail or something, would usually crack the plastic and it would lose its stability in the base here. And so this seemed to work much better. So all of these cups have slices in the bottom for drainage, and so each seedling is going to go in its own cup, and I will have many cups full of seedlings after this, but it gives them a little more room to grow before I transplant them out in the garden, because I don't have enough space for all these things, first of all. Second of all, they're still pretty small and young, so I can give them a chance to grow larger and stronger before I put them out into the garden. And putting them into the cups just makes that transplant so much easier, because the plants are already separated while the roots were still pretty young and smaller, so they'll be easier to separate. So in order to do this job, I have my plastic cups, of course. I have a plastic container here to catch the soil as I move it into the cups, as well as the water as I water it. And then I have fresh compost from my compost bin. So this is just one small container. I do have a lot of it ready, so I'll just go get more as I need it. But yeah, I'm going to fill these cups with compost, put the seedlings in them, and then they'll be good to go. So this main bed here is full of weeds, lots and lots of weeds. That patch right there, all weeds. And it's a cloudy day, and it's even sprinkling a little bit. But I got weeds in the corn here. Let's see, there's that patch of weeds. It's just all weeds, needs to come out. I've got new stuff. I planted a pumpkin here, and there's weeds, and there's some black beans that came up and weeds, so I just need to get in here and clean it up a little bit. The corn is doing super well. You can see all those silks out, and there's the pollen that needs to fall down onto the silks. I did get a volunteer squash plant in here, and I've just let it grow, and this thing is mega huge. It's probably 2 feet tall, actually. And yeah, I just need to get in here and clean out all these weeds. Weeds. Volunteer tomato plants. I don't need any more tomato plants. But yeah, I need to clean all this up. So I'm going to work on that. And there is rain in the forecast today, so if it starts raining, I'll definitely have to take the camera inside. Okay, I'm finished weeding. It looks so much better. So much better. Now the corn won't be competing with the weeds for the water and nutrients. And in this big cluster of weeds that was right here in the middle, so I had planted potatoes there way back when, and there is one potato plant that's trying to grow. So we'll see if it makes it. But yeah, so I'm tackling some of the onion seeds. I clipped them off. I'm going to take them inside to dry before I try to get the seeds out. The carrots will have to be dealt with at some point. The broccoli I let flower, so at some point I have to deal with the seeds there. The jalapeno plants are absolutely chock full of peppers. I mean, look at this. Look at all those peppers. Some of these plants are so weighted down, they're like bending over. They're so full of peppers, like this one. This one, see, the stalk is here and it's bent over because it's got too much weight on it with the peppers. Yeah, so I'm gonna, I don't know, try to let the peppers get red. We're gonna see. I picked a red pepper and I have it in the house. I'm gonna make a loaf of jalapeno bread, and I'm gonna see if the red pepper tastes any spicier than the green pepper. But yeah, the bed's all cleaned up. It looks very nice and will give me more space to work with the seedlings. Well, today's Sunday, August 13th, and it's time to turn the compost pile again. So I've added more material to it, but also it has sank quite significantly, which means the microbes are breaking down the material, which is really good. The temperature also went down a little bit. It got up to 130 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is the hottest my compost has ever been. And now it's down to about 110. So I'm going to give it a good turn, which will put more air into the pile. I'll also see how dry it looks. We've got some 90-degree days coming, another heat wave, so I want to make sure the pile has enough air and moisture and those microbes can just go to town. Want to show you. So in the pile there's like this white, gray, almost looks like ashy stuff, but it's not ash. That's the microbes breaking down the material. And yeah, that I can feel the heat on that. It's not like burning my hand, but I can feel the heat coming through the glove. It's just kind of cool to see that, you know, that evidence of the stuff breaking down. So I'm pretty happy. So all in all, I'm really happy with the garden this season. Many tomato plants, many pepper plants, not as many corn plants as I was hoping for, but the corn I do have is really thriving and have multiple ears on them, so it's just been really fantastic, and I'm looking forward to a little reprieve from the heat, a little bit of cooler weather, so I can get more of my seedlings out into the garden and get that ready for the fall season, because it will be here before we know it, and then I'll be back in school teaching and I won't have as much time to be out here. So yeah, I'm just really enjoying this summer, and I hope that you are too. So until next time, I hope that you stay safe, stay well. What do I usually say? And enjoy your crafts and gardening, whatever it is that you might be into. Bye, everyone.